1, 2, 3.
Are you ready? Well, here we go.
I'm Lisa Mitzel, and this is Condition to Win. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is a quick bonus show for everyone who'd like more tips for mental blocks and fears, especially with gymnasts going backwards. I'm going to go a little deeper this time and share more exercises and give some parent and coach tips as well. Okay, let's bang it out. Parents, when your child has a mental block or is afraid to do a skill, there should always be a plan. It shouldn't be day to day, hoping she'll do a skill or the coach saying she just won't go for it. Like I said in episode 5, the first show on about mental blocks, it can take 8 weeks or 6 months. The average is 4 months. For some kids, they've been having mental blocks for 1 to 2 years, and they just haven't had the proper guidance. So it takes daily mental practice. It takes a professional to help them through it. And kids need support from everyone around them. They need it. Gyms that allow and encourage gymnasts to get outside help from another professional, those gyms are the most helpful in overcoming mental blocks. They normalize it. They say it's okay. They support the mental trainer. Sometimes they even collaborate, and I'll tell you about that with myself, collaborating with a coach and a gymnast. Unless they have a great mental trainer on staff that clicks with you, and then you don't have to find another professional. A general plan with the coaches would be to take part in at least 1 or 2 sessions and get to know what the steps are that the mental training coach is suggesting and the tools that the gymnast is learning. The collaboration can actually put the gymnast at ease. It can actually help them to reduce stress, and it feels like everybody is working together. I have worked with a gymnast and coach together on flyaways, on bars, for instance. This is a 13-year-old gymnast, Maddie, and she has made great progress with the help of a coach at her gym who has joined our Zooms. They are in the gym on the equipment. She's got her grips on her hands. She's at the chalk box, and I am there on a screen via Zoom. I check in with both of them. I say, Maddie, how are you feeling today? I also check in with the coach. Do you have any observations? And I keep that as kind of a touch point throughout the session. I look at body language. I make sure that she's taking her deep breaths and that we're all taking steps together. Sometimes we have to take steps back and help Maddie feel safe. So that's the first thing. We start with the safest place for her. Doing any kind of a flyaway for a little while, we could only go on the low bar. So you raise the low bar as high as it goes, and then she does tap swings. And at the end of the tap swing, the coach holds her body under her back and her legs, and she holds it for like 2 seconds. So she does 3 tap swings, 1, hold and come back, 2, hold and come back, and 3, on the third one, he holds her, he supports her torso and legs, and after 2 counts, she safely lets go of the bar and he helps her turn over. She focuses on what she sees during the tap swings and during the flip. I emphasize this a lot in the most recent episode. The gymnast sees the blue mat underneath her as she swings back. Then as she swings through, she sees her toes as she extends forward in the tap. Then when she goes to flip, she sees the ceiling and then the mat when she lands. She also, at the end of the tap swing, may be looking at the wall across from her. So just take notice. And this is a pattern. I see the mat, I see my toes, I see the wall, I see the ceiling, I see the mat. It's a pattern, and she's creating what we call a mental map of what she sees. Maddie goes 1 position at a time, And she's training her brain to slow down and pay attention to each position. She focuses on the process of her body in motion, and she's learning body awareness and kinesthetic awareness, where she is in the air. Think of a roller coaster with a 360 loop. The architect and builders need to imagine and build that 360 loop one section at a time. Maybe the sections are, 3 feet or 5 feet long, but each section goes gradually from horizontal to curving upward, moving to vertical, then circling upside down, and then back around and down to horizontal again. This is an intellectual part by part process, and gymnasts can do this with their minds and bodies on every event and every skill. Maddie is now on the high bar, yay! And she does giant and goes into a flyaway. She has come so far in a few months. There were multiple things that Maddie did in addition to just doing the drills on the bar. She visualized separately as she sat on the floor and closed her eyes, and she imagined that she was doing the drill very well, that she could do the flyaway completely by herself, that she was smiling and she felt confident and strong in her body. She also wrote scripts, words for each position on several skills to get her mind comfortable and familiar with these types of patterns. She did it for baby giants. She did it for a giant swing. She did the scripts for back handsprings, and she wrote a script for back tuck. She memorized these short scripts. For instance, this is for the back tuck: stand, swing, jump, tuck, flip, land. And she would say, I know where I am safe. She read my book and continued to do exercises in my book, Focused and on Fire, and that is The Athlete's Guide to Mental Training and Kicking Butt. So she did many other exercises and gradually made progress from the low bar, where her coach would hold her in the horizontal position of the tap swing several times, and then she would let go. She got to doing that by herself off the low bar. And then she went to the pit bar and she was working on her giants. And she started with a baby giant, and then she gradually got her giant swing on the pit bar. And then she was able to do the tap swings to the flyaway off the high bar into the pit, and then also onto the regular hard mat on a regular set of bars. And now she's making progress. And now she can do giant flyaway into the pit. And she can do giant and do an extra swing and do the flyaway on the hard landing. So she has been making great progress with various approaches. It is not just about doing the skill on the bar. It is a multifaceted process of learning how to get your flyaway when you have a mental block, or giant swings when you have a mental block. There's all different kinds of exercises. And one of the biggest things that I've been teaching her is to celebrate and to say, I did it, even if it's just small progress. It's so important to celebrate the small things, and that has helped her a lot. And I will add, for the first month, we worked together 2 times a week. Then we spaced it out to once a week. So they really did put a lot of time and energy into helping her reduce her stress, give her the tools that she needed, and then continue with my support and guidance. And that's paid off. Fear of going backwards, as in a back walk over on beam, back handspring on floor or beam, a round off back handspring back tuck on floor, even multiple backwards tumbles like round off, whip, back handspring, double back, for all of you tumblers out there, or a Rudy combo to a back full on the trampoline for all of you trampolinists out there. I have worked with kids on all of these. And the basic issue that comes up is rushing. The gymnast rushes the skills and the combination in their mind and doesn't feel in control. The gymnast just feels like they're supposed to just bam, 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 and just do everything really fast. And so the brain doesn't slow down. Most gymnasts think of, for instance, a double back handspring on beam as one skill, but it's two. Or they think of just the connection, and their mind is running on, I can't connect, I want to connect, I'm afraid to connect, why can't I connect? So that's what they're focused on, the connection and feeling afraid. As I said before, stress is the main reason why gymnasts get fears and mental blocks. The brain will block a gymnast from doing a skill if, one, they don't feel confident and safe, and that makes sense, and two, if they don't have a mental map of each part of the skill. And I'll just say that again, your gymnast needs a mental map in order to clearly imagine each part of the skill, what they see in each part, and the positions that they feel in their body and mind together. I've talked to a few gymnasts who say that they close their eyes in the middle of flipping and twisting, and then they open their eyes just before they land. And that's definitely not going to give them a sense of security. My friend, Yuka Segura, who is a neural performance coach, she actually says that spotting where you are in the air gives you more consistency, accuracy, and confidence. So there's a lot of things about your eyes, your visual ability to help you know where you are. So it's very important to use your vision as a way to create a roadmap in your mind. The other day, I was coaching my client in Australia. We'll call her Molly. Molly is blocking on a round-off back hamstring back tuck. She's 13 and she is smart. I told her she needs to slow down, break down each skill, and focus on the parts one at a time. I showed her a sketch of a stick person doing a back walkover. She liked it. I asked if she could think of her round off and break it down into 4 or 5 parts. We did it together. Hurdle, hands down, kick over, push off, land. I asked her what she sees in each part and what she feels in her body. For example, in her hurdle, does she feel her arms up, her hands above her head, and one knee up? She did. We went through each part of the skill verbally, and she imagined her hands down on the floor, kicking her legs over the top, pushing off the floor, and then landing. She could imagine each part of the round off. Then I asked her to draw a stick person doing the round off and to draw each position. And she smiled and she said, yes. And she started sketching. While she was doing that, all of a sudden she said, I do round offs every day, and I never thought of how to do it or what I see. This was a light bulb moment for her. Being on automatic doesn't help your brain to feel safe. She needs control and autonomy. And to be in control of your body, she needs prediction. To predict each part of a skill and combination allows the brain to feel safe and in control. Don't rush through tumbling. Instead, slow down your mind, understand the skill, and really be present, taking those deep breaths and making sure that you feel safe and in control before you go. We are still working together, and she is starting to make progress. She's feeling less stressed and optimistic, and she's learning the tools. And that in itself is progress. She is feeling so much better. I explain all of this in my book, Focused and on Fire, The Athlete's Guide to Mental Training and Kicking Butt. So I highly recommend that you get that book if you don't have it. I also have the Mental Power Station, which is made by zentigermind, and that also has instructions on 4 different mini-sized yoga mats, and the kids just love it. And it's really helped a lot of coaches and kids be able to slow down, do the breathing and relaxing and the positive self-talk and visualizing and going through their skills mentally to conquer their nerves and fear. Coaches, learn sports psychology, learn about child development and even positive psychology. Seek a mentor who teaches mental skills and/or mental health practices. When you show compassion, the kids will learn it. A number of coaches today came from gyms that did not believe in sports psychology or compassion. It was a strict environment, and their coach was the authority. This is 2024. Learn as much as you can about mental training and mental health for kids in sports. Sign up for webinars, read articles, listen to podcasts, and step into the world of psychology. Here's something. If you haven't thought of it, see parents as your ally. You will probably find that you have more in common about guiding the athlete to be smart, to be successful, and to be healthy. And finally, there may be an occasional parent who is more demanding and not easy to communicate with. And that is an opportunity to practice curiosity and patience. And if it becomes too much, make sure, coaches, that you put your mental health first, and then make sure that you advocate for the child's mental health. Everybody is part of the team. Everybody is important. Everybody matters. And when we all work together, we can truly help these kids develop in the healthiest way. Reach me if you're seeking coaching, consulting, or education. I'm always honored to meet new people and especially help every child. I will be in Minneapolis next month for USAG National Congress and Olympic Trials and the trade show. I'll be with Zentigermind at the 3rd level booth. It's huge, so look for the island. Mental blocks and fears, don't be afraid of them. They are an opportunity to work together and to master the mental skills and to be kind to yourself, and you will get through them. You will. And if you haven't yet and you want some help, I'm always here. Well, that's the show. I'm Lisa Mitzel. I'm honored you chose to listen in. Check the show notes for information. Share your thoughts in the comments. Give us a positive rating if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe. Okay, my friends, this is your journey to grow and learn and guide yourself to your own transformation. I am sending you good vibes, deep breaths, and peace.